Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. So seeing as I'm stuck inside, I thought it would be a really good time to film an updated how I edit my Instagram photos. The way I edit my pictures is really easy, super simple, not too faffy. So I'm hoping that this will come in handy if you guys want to try out some new apps, or maybe you've got these apps on your phone and you're just not sure how to use them yet. The only really annoying thing about this is I am so OCD with my phone. I have to get rid of all images as soon as I'm sort of done with them. By that I mean, so obviously I take like 100 million different pictures for one photo, and then obviously there'll be the one that I use on Instagram, so I delete all of the other ones. I also delete the original. I only keep the filtered versions on my iPhone. It's all very confusing. So when it comes to filming a video like this, it does make it tricky when you actually have not that many pictures on your iPhone that are unedited. It's a weird OCD thing, don't ask. I just got this obsession with having my camera roll looking really nice and neat, but I have found a few different pictures that I can use to show you guys. I'm hoping that these ones will be alright. Also, I would like to apologise for the state of my hair. I cannot believe how much my blonde bits have like grown out. It's so bad. The first thing I'm going to do as soon as we're out of lockdown is head straight to the hairdressers. Honestly, I need a haircut, I need a colour. I'm basically brunette again now. Anyway, you know, first world problems over here. I feel like the hairdressers are going to be so busy when we're finally allowed out, because surely I can't be the only person that feels like this. Please let me know below if you also look in the mirror and just think, oh, what the hell. So the first app that I want to talk about, which is the main one that I use, is Colourtone. You probably will have heard about this before. I did mention it in my other video, and a lot of people on Instagram do filter their pictures with this app. So if you haven't actually got this app, do get it, because the presets on this app are amazing. So I just opened up a Colourtone on my phone here. I've got a few different pictures in here just so I've got different ones to show you guys. I'm going to start off with one that I've actually posted during lockdown. I thought it'd be a good one to use so you guys can see the filter that I'm using at the moment. So once you've loaded your picture up into this app, you're just going to click on the colourful little square in the bottom corner here, but this is where all the effects are. So there's loads and loads of different presets in this app. You can buy more, as you can see along the top here. There's also different ones from other people that the girl who created this app, Bonnie, has collabed with, and basically they've created their own presets for this app as well. But my favourite ones are Bonnie's ones that she has herself. They're all quite different, the presets, but they're all amazing. But the one I'm absolutely loving at the moment is this one here, which is Bora Plus. I love this just because it's kind of subtle. It's not too filtery, if that makes sense. So when I put the preset on in Colourtone, I then like to, so if you click on it again, it brings up the intensity. So this is where you can change it a little bit. So I normally bring this down to about somewhere between like 65 and 70. I think that's like a nice amount on the filter, so it's not too much. So there's kind of a before and after. As you just hold the picture, you can see. So it's quite subtle, as I said. So that is about as much as I do in Colourtone. So I just put that Bora Plus filter on my pictures. I then save the picture down, and I'm going to open it up again in Lightroom. So Lightroom is an amazing app for adjusting specific colours. I think that's why it's so amazing. So in here, you're going to click on colour at the bottom. This takes you to a page where you can click mix at the top there. And this is where it comes up with all the different colours within the picture, and you can play around and edit them how you like. So if I click on the orange here, you can see if I bring the saturation all the way up, and that makes me look a little bit like an Oompa Loompa, but that's just to kind of show you guys that you can just pick specific colours within the picture. So one of my favourite things to do when I'm editing my photos, especially when I'm wearing denim, is to lighten up the blue and change the hue of it just a little bit. So with this picture here, I'm going to just bring the luminance up of the blue. That's something I really like to do with any sort of photos that have got denim or blue in general. It looks really nice. So I'm just going to bring the luminance up so it's a bit brighter. I'm also going to take the saturation out of the jeans just a little bit because they're quite bright in this photo. And then you can use the hue button at the top here, which if you slide along, you can change kind of the tone of the blue. I'm just going to go slightly more towards the turquoise side, just a little bit. So that's sort of a before and after. If I hold it down, you can kind of see. Then the other thing that I like to do to my pictures in Lightroom is also just adjust the tint. This filter, I think, has got a slightly greeny tone, so I like to just lift the pinks up slightly. So I just put tint up to probably about 5, 6 or 7 depending on the picture. So I'll probably leave that one on 7, and then I might also just adjust the temperature a little bit in Lightroom just to warm the photo up slightly. I do like pictures when they're a little bit warmer. So the next thing I'll go on to do is adjust the light. So just click a long one to the light button. This is where I play around with like the shadows and the highlights, exposure, things like that. So this picture is a little bit darker than I want it to be, and it's got a few too many shadows, so I'm just going to bring the shadows up slightly, just so it's a little bit less harsh, and then also just take the contrast down slightly as well. Contrast I take down on quite a lot of my pictures, just because, as I said, I don't like them to look like overly filtered, and I feel like sometimes if the contrast is up too high, it can look a little bit too filtered. So that's the before and after. As you can see here, if I hold the picture down, you can see it's a lot brighter. The denim's like a little bit less kind of intense, I suppose. It just makes the photo look a little bit more glowy, I would say. Once I have saved the picture from Lightroom, I'm then going to open it up into an app called Cooney Cam. This one is so good for adding like a vintage effect to pictures. It's what I've been using for a while now, just because I love the way that it adds a grain and date stamps. It's just really cool. So once you've got to the main page, I'm just going to click on edit here, and as you can see there's a grain option. So this is one that I use all the time. So you can make your pictures look super grainy if you want to. You can take it all the way up to the top, but I probably leave mine about 34, 35, something like that. I think that's about a nice amount of grain. It's not too much. The other thing I absolutely love about this app is the way that it brightens pictures. I don't know why, but it's the best app I found for lightening up a picture without it kind of looking overexposed or too kind of like, I don't know, just a bit too highlighted. So I click the brightness, which is next to the grain, and then I'm just going to bring the brightness up a little bit, probably to about somewhere between 30 and 40 is normally fine, but it makes such a difference. So that's the before and that's the after, and I just love the way it lightens pictures. I've tried loads of other apps to brighten my pictures, and this one is definitely the best. So if you haven't tried this app, I would say download it because it's got so many good features to it. So I'm going to save that one down. So that's basically that picture edited, and that is about as much as I would do to most of my Instagram pictures. So it goes through the Colourtone filter, then it goes into Lightroom for a little bit of an edit and play around with the colours, and then it goes into Cooney for a grain and a little bit of brightness just so it's nice and glowy. So the other feature in Cooney Cam that I wanted to show you is the date stamp that you can add to pictures. So along the bottom you've got this little thing that says date. So if you click on that and press this button here, it turns it on. So the best thing about Cooney Cam is you can actually change the font and the colour of the date stamp, which you don't really get in any other apps. So I really like that, and you can also change the placement by clicking this button here. And it basically just, I don't know, I just think it's the best one for adding a date stamp, because sometimes if you can't move the date stamp around, it's in the wrong place in the photo. The other thing as well you can do if you click this button is you can change the size of the date stamp, which is also really handy. So this is perfect if you want to add sort of like that disposable camera look to pictures. The other thing that's great if you are using a date stamp and you want that disposable camera look is to go to the dust option, which is at the bottom here. And then I always go along to number 15, that's my favourite one to use, and you can add some dust onto your picture. So it comes out quite heavy, which you might like, but my personal preference is just to take it down to about 30, so it's not too harsh, and it just helps to give the photo a real sort of like vintage disposable camera effect. So if you're wondering how I do date stamps and kind of that real vintage grain, this is how I do it, and it's all done through Cooney Cam, so it's such a good app because you can do so much in this one. Lastly, I just wanted to show you guys another filter in Colourtone that I'm completely obsessed with, and I feel like this filter looks so good on photos when I'm away. I think it helps when you've got sunshine in the pictures for this filter to look really good. It also looks amazing when there's lots of blues in the photo. So I'm going to show you this picture here, which is something I took when I was at Omnia in Bali, which is a pool club, and if you are ever in Bali you need to go. It's amazing. The views are unreal. So I'm just going to click on the effects button at the bottom here and go all the way along to this filter here, which is called Kutti. I mean, the before and after of this is literally amazing. I love the way it makes the blues look like so dreamy, and it really softens them. This is what I mean about it working so well on photos that have got blues in them. It literally looks amazing. I use this a lot on all of my summer photos, especially when I'm traveling. I really feel like this Kutti filter really comes into its own. This filter is also great for photos like I've got on the screen here that are more sort of like landscape or of things. It's really great for like an Instagram story. It makes everything look really just dreamy. It's such a nice filter. So I just wanted to show you guys that one so you can see some other options. But as I said, there are so many amazing filters in Colourtone. They're all really good and they're all good for different things. There is one other app that I just wanted to mention at the end of this video, and it is called Nomo. So this app is basically an app that allows you to shoot in the style of loads of different cameras. It's especially good if you're looking for that sort of vintage look to your pictures. I'm going to add a screen record recording of the app in here. It is a little bit confusing. It takes some time to learn exactly how it works. So I'm going to show you guys best on the screen here. The only thing is I have had the app for a while, so it will look different to when you first get it because I've got other cameras in it now. I know that doesn't make any sense, but anyway. So when you load up this app, you've got the option to buy loads of different cameras which all take pictures in different ways. I actually bought the pro version of this because I was obsessed with it so much, so these are all sort of available. You can buy like one-offs of just like a specific camera. So along the bottom here I've got the ones that I have bought. So this one here is the Polaroid camera. So you've got the option to take a picture actually with the app, but the thing I really like about it is if you click this button in the right hand corner, it takes you to a page, as you can see it here. These are all like the Polaroids that I've made, and it allows you to upload a photo from your camera roll. So for example, if I click a picture from my camera roll and I leave it in here, the Polaroid will slowly develop like a Polaroid would, and it's such a good alternative to a Polaroid camera. I must say I do still prefer my actual Polaroid camera if I want to get that look. So the other thing you can do is if you click on the picture and then you shake your phone, I know that sounds really weird, but when you shake it, it actually develops quicker. So it's honestly mental, this app. It's literally like a Polaroid, it's crazy. And then as you can see here, you're left with a Polaroid version of the image. So I just wanted to show you guys that because it's really handy at the moment, because I feel like that vintage aesthetic is really popular on Instagram at the moment, and this app is perfect for it. And there's loads of different other cameras available on that app, so you can play around and sort of like see which other ones you like the look of. Some of them are a bit shit, but some of them are quite good, and that Polaroid one is really good. So I just wanted to end on that one. So there we go guys, that is an updated little look on how I edit my Instagram pictures. I really hope this has been useful. I will make sure to write all of the app names below in case you missed any of them so that you can see. I'll also write the filter names as well, just so that's all there. All the information will be below. But I really hope that you've enjoyed watching and you found this useful. Just get any of the apps that I've mentioned, have a little bit of a play, because once you get used to them, they're super easy to use. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!